PolarPro contacted us to review their new ND filter system, and if you follow our channel, you know that we love ND filters, so we said yes, send it on. So in addition to their standard kit, they also included the expansion pack, which has 3 additional ND filters. ND 64, 128, and 256. These are pretty heavy duty ND filters. Really great in bright conditions. And they also sent us their gimbal counterweight. It's designed specifically for the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. But we don't have an Osmo Mobile 2, so we'll talk more about that in a moment. One of the best things about this filter system is how easy it is to use. It has a spring-loaded mount that you just stretch across your phone, and so it'll fit most phones on the market today. According to their website, this will only work with iPhone and Google Pixel phones right now. So just be aware that they claim it's for the iPhone 6, 7, 8 Plus models and X, with or without a case, or the Google Pixel 2 or Pixel 2 XL. I would think it would work with other ones because of the way the filter mount is spring-loaded. But that's just our opinion, so results may vary. Just make sure it lines up with your lenses properly so there's no vignetting, and you're good to go. And when you want to replace a filter, you just simply slide it out of the mount, grab the next filter, and slide it right back in. The mount fits snug against your camera, and so it's a very secure system. It's not going anywhere. We shot with these filters in various scenarios, including here at this lake. This is a FiLMiC Pro screen capture with no ND filter on. The shutter was very fast at 1/1536. One minor annoyance is the way the filters lay in the soft case. They're face down, and so you can't read the numbers on the filters and don't know which one to grab. So first up here, ND8. This is 3 stops of light loss. Not a whole lot of motion in here to see the difference, but you can see the bikes in the distance there. And that wipe showed the flat FiLMiC Pro footage to the color graded footage. And now ND16. This will give you more light loss, 4 stops. It brought the shutter down to 1/192. Again, not a lot of motion in this image, but you can see the colors look good. The glass appears to be high quality in these filters. And now ND32, which is the one you would probably use most in bright conditions, or at least that's what I did. This takes away 5 stops. Nice motion blur. Colors look good. And the shutter speed is 1/48th, which is exactly what you want when you're shooting 24 frames per second. So the filters performed well at this location. Decided to walk around the lake and get a few B-roll shots. Still using the ND32 filter. Again, colors look good, no real vignetting, but then I did notice some strange flares. I often like flares, but these flares didn't look natural. The one in this tree looks okay. But then on this shot, they were, I would almost say, ugly. Yeah, those don't look good. So I hopped back in my car and thought, well, maybe I need to take the case off the phone. Maybe the mount needs to be more flush against the actual phone. Obviously, light is getting in behind the filter somehow or bouncing onto it. So now these next shots, I'm using the filter mount against the phone only, no case. And it looks like it improved. The sun is up to the top left of the screen. However, there is a little bit of a flare there. When I was shooting, I couldn't see it on the screen. I thought it was fixed, but there is still a little bit of a flare, but it is much better. In this shot, there's no flares. I was under a tree, but it looks great. This shot I was back out in the direct sun and no flares. These shots I did to test out the motion blur, and the motion blur looks really good. So I just dropped one of the ND filters down between my seats, and I can see it right down there. One of the perils of these small, skinny little slide-in ND filters. ND16. The Cinema Series filters are really heavy duty. I found that you gotta be in really bright conditions for these to work well. Of course, keeping in mind, the #1 thing that gives away smartphone video footage is too fast of shutter, no motion blur. So too much ND is probably better than no ND. And that's not to say these don't have a use, they absolutely do. It's just they're more specialized. For this example, I shot on the native iPhone camera, just wanted to try that out. Even though you have no idea what the shutter speed is, it's a common camera for a lot of people to use. This first shot has no ND, and you can see that there's no motion blur on the water here. The case for these Cinema Series lenses is nice because it's got glass cover and you can quickly see which ND filter you want to grab. It's not as protective as the other case, but it's easier to use. This first one up is going to be the ND64, which is 6 stops. It gives you nice motion blur. Next up is the ND128. This is 7 stops. By the way, the sun here was directly above us at about 3:30 in the afternoon, so it was really at the brightest point of the day. And the last one here is the ND256, which is 8 stops. All these shots look fairly similar because the camera is auto-adjusting. And so while doing the test with the native iPhone camera was interesting, you can see the motion blur there, I wanted to do it with FiLMiC Pro too, but only to show you the screen capture because I want to show the shutter speeds. So this first one is no ND filter, and this shutter is the fastest I probably have ever seen. 1/6144. That is crazy, crazy fast. So adding the ND64 instantly pulls that down to the normal shutter speed of 1/48 for 24 frames per second. The ND128 actually brings the shutter down below 1/48 to 1/24, which is okay, but I'd rather do 1/48, so I adjusted it. And when you adjust it, it does crush the black levels just a little bit, so be careful there, that can cause noise. And now the last one, ND256, 8 stops. It's at 1/24 shutter. To bring that up to 1/48, not necessarily gonna work here. It pretty much crushes the black levels and makes the whole image kind of muddy. So this ND256 would not be something that I would use very often at all, maybe in bright, snowy conditions. Same with the ND128. But of course, they really are nice options to have in your kit. At the beginning, we noted this gimbal counterweight was designed for the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. Well, we don't have a DJI Osmo Mobile 2. We have a Zhiyun-Tech Smooth Q, and it worked great. It did not fit over the mechanism exactly like it was supposed to, but it slid right onto the arm and worked perfectly. I actually shot with it like that for hours one day, and it never fell off, never failed. So while it was made for the Osmo, it worked perfectly fine with this gimbal, and I was really pleased with the results. So what do we like? Well, we like the quality glass. There's no color shift, and we didn't notice any vignetting. You can get vignetting if you don't put the filter mount on correctly, but that has nothing to do with the glass. It's really easy to use. That's probably its biggest selling point. You just open the spring-loaded mount and slide it on your phone. Also like that there's a wide assortment of ND filters, all the way from 3 stops to 8 stops. That covers pretty much any shooting situation you would ever be in. The other really nice thing is how easy this is to work with a gimbal. A lot of the ND filters that we have to mount through other systems like a Beast Grip or a Helium Core or a Moment lens, and they get really heavy and you can't use those for the most part on smartphone style gimbals. It's very lightweight for what it is and robust. What do we dislike? Well, those flares are pretty funky. I think mounting it directly on the phone instead of a case is the way to go. That did seem to diminish them, but they were still there. Some of this could have been operator error, but it is something to look out for. While this system is easy to use, I did find putting in the filters, occasionally you would flop them the wrong way. Almost reminded me of putting in a USB stick. It seems like every time you do it, you put it the wrong way. Once you get used to it, it'd probably be smoother, but initially I did keep putting the filters in the wrong way. This dislike has nothing to do with the ND filters themselves, but the soft case is very strangely designed. The filters go face down to where you can't read what filter is what, and so you have to reach into the case and look, and then you get your fingerprints on the filter. It just seems like it would be so much easier to flop those molds around and have it to where you can see the filter number when you instantly open the case. And the last one here is a biggie, and it can be a pro or a con, but you can't use third-party lenses with this filter system. You are locked into this system only using the native lenses on your phone. So for filmmakers, it's not quite as versatile. Lots of folks love using Moment lenses or anamorphic adapters, that kind of thing, and this will not work with those, which could be a plus. It is a plus for gimbal work, but it's a con if you like using third-party lenses. So who is this filter kit for? Well, really it could be for anybody, truthfully. It just depends on the nature of your filmmaking. It probably caters more towards travel filmmakers, mobile journalists, the mojo crowd. This could come in really handy. Again, filmmakers that may not use third-party lenses. Although even if you use third-party lenses like we do, it's good if you can afford it to have this addition to your kit, because you don't always want to use third-party lenses. It's especially for those who want to do gimbal work. This is a lightweight, high quality, very convenient ND filter system. And at the time of this review, the standard kit cost $99. So it's not overly expensive. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive either when you consider how much filters can cost individually. The expansion kit with the Cinema Series filters is another $99, and then the counterweight is $29. We know ND filters are not glamorous. They're not the most exciting piece of gear that you're gonna buy. But I'm here to tell you they're one of the most important. Not only do they help reduce your shutter speed, they can also help with depth of field. I would venture to say they're the most important accessory to get if you want to make your videos look more cinematic. So what do you think? Do you guys use ND filters on your projects? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, definitely do that now so you won't miss any of our future content. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one.